What an interesting name. Maidstone. It sounds both quaint and fabricated, like something from a Victorian novel, or a failed suburban utopia. Perhaps once it meant something. Perhaps it still does. Stone of the Maid. Stone by the Maid, or the place where a stone lay. But now, emerging from a string of coastal reveries in places like Margate and Ramsgate, I find myself heading back inland, into the not quite heart of England. The distractions of the seaside behind me, Maidstone appears like a nudge. Back to work, back to industry, back to the reality of the commuter belt and the cultural middle ground. Maidstone reveals itself first not as a town, but as a diluted echo of London's sprawl. There are colossal buildings without proportion, shop chains without novelty, a WHSmith here, a Poundland over there, all familiar, all predictable. There is no curated quaintness, no theatrical charm. Instead, this is utility architecture and retail functionality in its purest form. Thousands of people fill the pavements, not with the curiosity of tourists, but with the mechanical pace of residents who know every crack in the pavement. You ask yourself, standing in the middle of this regulated chaos, what beauty could you find here? And yet beneath the Tesco Express and the vape shops and the mobile phone repair kiosks, there is history. Romans once walked here. Before them, perhaps the Celts, and even earlier, the silent, tool-bearing shadows of Neolithic settlers. You can almost feel them underfoot, their footprints preserved somewhere under layers of infrastructure and unbothered local routine. A place like Maidstone doesn't announce its past loudly. It just hides it in the subtext. In the undisturbed corners, the forgotten plaques, the quiet museums no one visits. The town square is curiously vast, not grand, not elegant, just large. It's like the planners aimed for aesthetic ambition, but ran out of both money and imagination. People pour into it from all directions, emerging from alleyways and side streets like water breaking into a basin. Perhaps it is the time of day, around 3 p.m., when schools empty and shops bustle. There is energy, but it is a nervous kind. No one lingers, everyone moves. It's not a square for public life, it's a funnel, a transition zone. You're not in it, you're just passing through. One of the ways you know a town is large is by the distance between the car park and its center. And here in Maidstone, I parked far. The walk-in was not scenic, it was functional. Maidstone is undeniably big, but it lacks the completeness of a city. It doesn't offer the concentrated complexity of London, nor the crafted charm of smaller English towns like Stamford or Rye. It lives in the liminal. It is neither here nor there, a ghost town of aspiration caught in the inertia of its own in-betweenness. You keep asking, where is the soul? And all you hear is the sound of buses pulling in one after another. Lastly, I would like to list some of the features of the town as a summary of what I narrated above, dropping the sarcastic tone and getting more plain, and blending historical, cultural, architectural, and social perspectives. Maidstone has ancient origins, with archaeological evidence of settlement dating back to the Neolithic period and later occupation by the Romans and Saxons. The name Maidstone likely comes from the Old English Megden Stan, meaning stone of the maidens, or stone by the meadow, though interpretations vary. Located in Kent, Maidstone is one of the largest towns in the county, not quite a city, but much larger than a typical English village. Its town centre is filled with chain stores, retail parks, and functional modern buildings, making it feel like a suburban extension of London rather than a destination in its own right. The central square is broad but bland, used more as a thoroughfare than a place to linger, filled with people passing through rather than gathering. Maidstone is a well-connected commuter town with rail links to London, making it a popular choice for those working in the capital. Architecturally and culturally, the town seems to lack a unifying aesthetic or clear civic soul, sitting awkwardly between urban sprawl and rural past. There are museums and historical sites, including the Maidstone Museum, housed in a Tudor manor, though these are often under-promoted and under-visited. The town is near the River Medway and surrounded by Kent's countryside, providing natural beauty beyond the urban clutter. Maidstone reflects many challenges of mid-sized UK towns: post-industrial identity crisis, retail homogeneity, and a lack of cultural magnetism, yet still anchored by the effort and resilience of its residents.